Hello, Rebel Healers and Magic Makers. Welcome to this month's message of the month, a sort of special edition of In Betwixt, because in addition to having a message of the month, January, which is our aligning dreams, key channel of change, and the full and plenty joy spiral, meaning that this collective time that we're in, this energy is an aligning dreams energy. And aligning dreams is really about knowing our roots, where we come from, who we are, and what we're meant to do in this body, in this life, and aligning that with the collective constellation of life, the web of life, the infinite massive universe that we are all a part of. We are in that time right now. So in some ways, the whole new year energy of January, the Gregorian calendar, does align with this sort of visioning energy of this time of the year. But it doesn't, the one thing that makes it different about at least American cultures, kind of tendency around the new year of all so many resolutions and whatnot, which I am a big goal person, big cap energy. But aligning dreams is really about being in vision of things, about, and in being with the vision, we also need awareness of our values to kind of help ground us in the material plane and not just get lost in visions. Both are essential to kind of bring us into ourselves, into our truth. So, welcome to Aligning Dreams. Um, I'll be doing a reading for this month, January, Aligning Dreams, but we'll also be doing a collective reading for 2024. Since this is the beginning of the Gregorian calendar, um, it's just, it's that time. So you'll be getting two readings in one. So we'll have a total of um, 12 cards to be working with. The first six are to be working with for the whole year. You know, this is the long game. So the first reading that we're doing is really a hawk's eyes view of everything. Similar to how the major arcana functions in the tarot, this collective reading is really feeling into both the outermost edges of the collective of all of us, that thread that binds us all together, as well as the heart of it all. And 2024 is a strength card year. And when I say it's a strength card year, what I mean is that when you add up the numbers of 2024, 2 plus 2 plus 4, you get 8. And 8 is the eighth card in the tarot, strength. The strength card has a picture of a lion in the Raider Waitte Smith Tarot deck. Picture of a lion being pet by an angelic figure with an infinity sign over their head. It's a very non-binary card. I love it. But regardless of any gender identities, the card is really about facing the most vicious parts of ourselves, um, those beliefs about ourselves that have teeth to them, um, our literal survival defense of fight. For some people, they have other survival parts that have more teeth to them. You know, it's not necessarily the fight part. It could be the submit part, the people pleaser part, the I'll just kind of go with the flow, but really I'm dismissing all my needs part. So It can be any of the survival defenses, but we're really being asked in 2024 to meet them and to not attack them back, not to judge them back, not to shame them back, but to meet them with that angelic uh, love and understanding so that we can actually have a relationship with these parts. Because when we have a relationship with them, we are more regulated, we're more in our integrity, and we're more able to listen to others, we're more able to understand others, we're more able to dream and problem solve and build new worlds, which is so essential. We're very in an in betwixt era where it's pretty obvious that things are not working and we're not built to work, only for a very few. Um, and we're rejecting a lot of that. We're saying enough is enough. We need to really be saying more. Enough is enough, especially as we move into an election year. We really should not be settling. Um, that's a submit report response. But politics aside, we are in betwixt. We are aware of this world operating system personally, relationally, and collectively that is just, we can't do it anymore. It's not working. In many ways, it's the lesson of 2023, the chariot, leaving behind chariots that cannot take you any fucking further. On the other hand, we can kind of see the future. You know, we have solidarity economy movements, we have labor rights organizing happening. We have more and more people being like, fuck this, I'm not going to kill myself at my job anymore. Fuck this, like I'm building, you know, my conception of family, chosen family, all these new ways, but it still feels a little amorphous. We know that we need to build a new world, but we are just at the beginning, the seeds really of building that. So we're in betwixt, and being in betwixt can be very uncomfortable for our human nervous systems. So with 2024, that strength card invitation around becoming undefended so that we can have real relationships, again, is one of these major energies, lessons that if we as individuals choose to really surrender to it and welcome to this path, that we will learn that, we will get there, we will embody it, we will integrate it. So that's the same thing with this collective full and plenty joy spiral reading. So as we go through these first 6 cards, I really invite you to just let them wash over you. If you're someone who likes to take notes, you know, please do whatever works best for your mind, body, spirit system. But know that you can always come back to this video to refresh, to connect into those larger energies, because connecting into those larger energies is essential for aligning dreams. And we are the collective, we are the people. There really is no self. And so in aligning dreams, we're not being selfish because we're doing it so with the collective liberation of all life, all things in mind. So if we care about liberation, it's important to check in with those more esoteric, more energetic, more symbolic energy fields and language systems to help ground us, anchor us, because life is chaotic. So take that with you as you receive these messages. As a reminder for those who are new to the Flow and Plenty Joy Life Spiral, which I imagine most people are because I've just started teaching about it. You know, I'm still getting to know it. It's very much an emergent strategy, which I'm actually being reminded there's a quote from Emergent Strategy that I wanted to read to you all in honor of this Aligning Dreams season, but especially the 2024 Strength Year. And this is from Adrienne Maree Brown's Emergent Strategy book. Critical connections are more important in a long-term transformation process than critical mass. Relationships are everything. So I invite you to close your eyes, push your feet into the ground, or just do whatever feels good to you to become present as you receive this 2024 FPJ Life Spiral reading for your highest and best. These 5 cards are aligning with the 5 key channels of change, which are major lessons, major portals that we each pass through in life. Aligning dreams, breaking cycles, becoming embodied, bringing expression, and tending spirit. May these cards reveal medicine to the collective for all of our highest good, rooted in the liberation of all. Hmm. So there are 2 ways you can take this reading, and you can take them both ways. It doesn't have to be one or the other. But A, you can pause this video right now and click the link to or this recording, whether you're listening podcast version or video, but pause this and take the what key channel of change um, are you in right now quiz that I've created to help you orient yourself to where in the full and plenty joy life spiral you are right now. Um, Obviously knowing that that will change. So you can always come back to the quiz, but um, with this reading, let's say, for example, you're in a aligning dreams key channel change right now. That's what I'm in currently. You might really see the aligning dreams card in this reading as sort of your primary card for right now. And that right now might last the next month. It might last the next few months. It might last the whole year. That's what the quiz is for, is to help you kind of come back and see, okay, where am I? And at one point you'll have it internalized in yourself. You don't even need a quiz to take. You'll just look at it and know, oh, yes, this is where I am right now. Um, or for example, you're in the freeing expression key channel of change. You would take that card from this reading sort of as your guiding light, your main focus for this year, and the other key channels of change as the sort of support systems to that main card for that key channel of change. That's one way of taking it. Okay. The other way of taking it is um, following the Full and Plenty Joy Life Spiral calendar. Um, and there's an image on website, fullandplentyjoy.com, that shows the calendar. Currently, we're in a aligning dreams season. Um, so you can kind of use these cards as a map for your year. And when I say your, I do mean you specifically, but I also mean the version of you or the part of you that is everyone and everything. So if you want a more personalized, customized reading that's more about your date, like how this will show up in like the more like day to day of your particular life in your particular body, then my books will be open January 17th for personal full and plenty joy life spiral readings. Otherwise, this is really more, again, that edge, that connective thread that is for everyone, which is so important. That is what binds us together. And like Adrienne Brown says, relationships are everything. So the second way of taking this reading is by using the cards that are associated with the 5 key channels of change and aligning it with the Gregorian calendar year. So first up, we're starting with the breaking cycles key channel of change, which is technically the first one in the spiral if you're going in a linear form. And here we have the 9 of Wands. As you can see, this person, like, ooh, they've been through it. Like they are clenching onto the tree and they've got a bandage on their head and their facial expression is kind of like, you know, they seem to be pretty activated. And the invitation of this card in relationship to the breaking cycles key channel of change is that for 2024, we are being invited to break cycles around burnout. And specifically around the belief that we don't get to rest and we just have to keep going and we have to keep overriding our nervous system. We have been trained for a very, very long time, and that even goes back generationally, that body doesn't matter, needs don't matter. We just either need to, in a very like how Christianity has infiltrated a lot of culture, oh, we have to like serve at our complete sacrifice of self, almost in this like martyr way. Um, but then there's also the capitalistic context of it where your worth is tied up in how much you work and how much wealth you accumulate and in how much you can, just show, people are saying, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And it's like, I personally don't think that's something to brag about, you know? So the 9 of Wands in the key channel of change for breaking cycles for 2024 is really about learning how to let yourself pause. And this can be pause for a moment, because when we don't pause and we're really activated, then we have a lot of rupture in relationships and we might not have repair. So we're still so activated. So the sacred pause is everything in order to come back into our body, check in with our parts, regulate, so that we can be acting from our integrity, from our values, from who we truly know ourselves to be. And so that we can have relationships and be in community. The way Lindsay Mack teaches this card is about learning how to labor and rest. Something that many of us have never learned how to do, and never, due to circumstances, economic class, due to inherited trauma, so many different reasons. And it's worth it to reflect on those in breaking that cycle. The key channel of change of breaking cycles, its anchor is choosing recovery. So for you, you might reflect on, if I am breaking cycles and I'm breaking cycles around my beliefs around resting and laboring, like finding that balance, what part of myself or what about myself would I be recovering in that process? If I am here to learn how to labor and rest this year, what does that mean for me being able to recover something very important? Is that about recovering your divineness that lives outside of capitalistic status context? Is that about recovering your literal physical ability to nap? Is that about recovering what you actually, like the context in which that are restorative to you. Like rest can look so many different ways for so many different people. It's about recovering like your needs around what you need with rest. Is it about recovering, your labor? Are you being exploited? A lot of people's labor are being exploited. So here in the Breaking Cycles Key Channel of Change, we have the Nine of Wands for 2024, and we're being invited to break cycles around our relationship to work and rest, which is such an essential lesson when we are working towards collective liberation for all. For the next key channel of change, number 2, which is becoming embodied, we have the Seven of Pentacles. And you see here this figure, they're looking down at all these seeds that they've planted that have become to kind of grow. They're like in shrub form now. And they're just kind of looking, waiting, like waiting for more growth. And so in the key channel change of becoming embodied, we're being invited in 2024 to show ourselves patience and trust, as well as acknowledging the growth that has occurred in our relationship to our bodies, in our ability to be embodied. And when I say embodied, what I mean is our physical, sensorial ability to feel on the inside. There's so many things, again, very related to how we override our system, that keep us from being able to feel on the inside. And with becoming embodied, the reason why we do that, why we become embodied, is because our innate wisdom, which is our power, lives in the body. So this card, the Seven of Pentacles, Pentacles are also about our soul-led service, our contribution in the world, that we must be patient with our bodies and be patient with our ability to be embodied, and trust that this relationship, this capacity to be embodied is growing. It has been planted, it has been growing, and it's going to grow more. So in many ways, these two cards support one another, because when we do this, or really when we do this, allow ourselves to labor and rest, we're much more likely to have this growth happen. So that's why breaking cycles comes before becoming embodied. Not that it has to be linear, this helps us to break cycles by being patient with coming into our body. And also another way you can take this card with becoming embodied as an actual somatic practice is really practicing bringing more awareness to sensations in the body and how they emerge, how they grow, when they're growing, when they're changing. Having that awareness of that landscape, that literal landscape inside of yourself, is such important information for being able to know when you need to stop working or when you need to stop resting. Then in the third key channel of change, freeing expression, we have the sun, which is so beautiful. The freeing expression key channel of change, its anchor is allowing creativity. And what is more creative than allowing your spirit, your sun, to shine, and to shine through the spirit of your inner child? So, in freeing your expression, in reaching the full vibrancy of life, there is an invitation to connect with your inner child. And many of us have inner children who are quite wounded, but this invitation is either alongside your wounded child and helping them reclaim this, or in, the inner child in you that's not wounded, because that part does exist too, uh leading you through expression. Yes, this can be creatively through dance, through writing, through song, through painting, through poetry, crafting, so many different things. But freeing expression can also be how we share in relationships. So many of us are so scared to share how we feel, what we think in our relationships. So, our inner child here, the one that is vibrant and alive and just like full of joy, is here to guide us in freeing our expression and allowing our creativity, that key channel change. Hmm. For tending spirit, our fourth key channel of change, we have the Six of Wands. And here you see this person on a horse with sort of, a more old school interpretation might be they're preparing for a battle or something, but I don't really think it's that. Um, I think it's much more to do around um, the power of solidarity. Like in many ways, this is a protest card. And your protest can look all different forms. It could be, literal protests like marching in the streets with your comrades. It could be protests in the form of boycotting, how you use your money. It can be protest in the form of saying no, saying enough, whether that's to another person, whether that's to your job, whether that's to messages around you have to vote for this person, otherwise you're going to mess everything up and you're going to be, uh, lesser evil, that whole mentality. Protest comes in all forms. And tending spirit, this is how we are tending our spirit in 2024, is through our own personal protests. And finally, aligning dreams, which is the season we're in, and is the key channel change I personally am in right now. Um, I love this card so much. My gender doula, Eli Lawlett, calls this card like the most trans card. And it's really about, you see all these cups here. This person accumulated so much. They worked so fucking hard for all of these cups. And yet now they're walking away. They're moving on, they're leaving them behind. So, with aligning dreams, in aligning our dreams, in becoming radical, which is the anchor of the aligning dreams key channel change, we are being asked to leave behind all that we've accumulated that just is not for us anymore. It's not who we are. It cannot take us any further. In many ways, it has a lot of chariot vibes, but it's much more in this emotional way. Cups are associated with the heart. So it can bring up a lot of grief. So, in aligning our dreams, we must allow ourselves to grieve. And in the Full and Plenty Joy life spiral, one of the core experiences for us to integrate in living life in this full, joyful, abundant way is grieving. So, key channel change, aligning dreams. What cups are you leaving behind? What are you saying? Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's time for me to move on and see what's around the corner. Allow myself to become who I am now. And you can even see that represented with the changing of the moon here. And with the moon also sort of surrendering to not being attached to any kind of outcome of who we're becoming now, really surrendering to that spiralic process of being. By being, we are aligning our dreams. And finally, for 2024, we'll pull a card that's a spell, an anchor, a guide for all of 2024. This is from the Living Altar deck, which is one of my favorite Oracle card decks by two very radical witches. Choice. I love that so much because with what we're talking about with the strength card, 2024, strength card is also very much like a breaking cycles key channel of change. It's about choosing recovery. Um, I really believe that it is the beginning of the recovery journey. Strength card is the beginning of the death spiral, which is essentially a recovery underworld journey. That set of cards in the major arcana, there's three sets. There's the birth spiral, the death spiral, and the rebirth spiral, as taught by Lindsay Mack. And the death spiral it's all about recovery. Anyone who's ever been through a recovery or resonates with that, whether that's from substances or from an eating disorder or from trauma, understands recovery is very much an underworld journey, recovering of parts of ourselves. Who am I? And so with this card, we're at the beginning of that and we have choice. And that is so essential when we're on a recovery journey, is remembering that in each moment, we have choice over how we respond to the lions inside of us and to the lions, to other people's lions, relationships, community, collective. So choice is our guiding word for 2024. Makes me smile. Here is the spell card for choice. Let it wash over you. Take what serves you and leave the rest. Well, here I am. The power of divine intervention bubbles like a blessed conspiracy from deep within me. The path is laid before me. My choices are to embark curious, with wonder as companion, or to turn back towards the illusion of comfort and remain numb. Will I change or will I perish? Am I winged and my will? I am winged. I am winged and my will is an adventure, not to be tamed, but to be revered as a mentor. I may not recognize myself in this moment of choosing, but nonetheless, I step forward with a familiar spirit and a renewed sense of hope. I love this card so much as the thread for these 5 cards for our 2024 collective Full and Plenty Joy Life Spiral reading, because let's break this down a little bit. My choices are to embark curious with wonder as companion. That's the Sun card, wonder. Wonder as our companion, the Sun card as our companion in freeing our expression. Freeing our expression in many ways is about our choices, our artistic choices, our how we choose to communicate with other people and how we communicate with ourselves. Or to turn back towards the illusion of comfort and remain numb. That's this one. Remaining numb, meaning continuing to override our system, continuing to remain busy, even though we know it's not serving us. When we have, again, choice around that. Obviously, we have to pay bills and things, but there are a lot of social obligations that we feel. There's a lot of, especially social obligations, that might need a renewal around all of this. But whatever that keeps us numb, we're being asked to have choice to not remain numb. I mean, that's what Full and Plenty Joy is all about. It's about feeling it all. Yes, some of those feelings are really scary and are really uncomfortable, but that is that is what I personally came out of recovery with. When it was my last day in treatment, we did a little like stone ceremony, whatever. And I remember saying that my intention was not to be happy. You know, people always say, oh, I just want to be happy in life. I feel that in some ways, like, of course, but really, I was like, no, that's not like my goal. My goal is to feel it all. Is when I feel it all, I have so much more information about who I am and the world around me and the people I love, the people I don't love, I don't know. I have so much information about um, how I want to express myself, my art, so many things. So that's how that fits into this. And then this part, my will is an adventure, not to be tamed, but to be revered as a mentor. And that's that lion image again, the strength card. We're not here to punish the lion. We're not here to tame the lion. We're here to be in right relationship with the lion, to see the lion, those parts of us that have these strong survival responses, as a mentor, as a teacher in some ways. Not so that they rule our life, which often they do when we're not in active relationship with them, but so that we can learn from them, like would a mentor. And then this final part, I step forward with a familiar spirit and a renewed sense of hope. Very much this card. So that is your 2024 Full and Plenty Joy Life Spiral reading. And now we'll do for January. This will be a little faster. So for January, our Aligning Dreams month, here is your Full and Plenty Joy Life Spiral reading. Oh, okay, cool. So I would interpret these cards as either A, taking the Aligning Dreams card as like your main focus for this month, with the other ones as the support, or knowing where you are in the Full and Plenty Joy lifestyle and whatever key channel change you are in, taking that card in this reading as your main guidepost for the month of January. So in the aligning in the Aligning Dreams key channel of change, we have the 10 of Cups. And this is all about orienting to the magic all around us in each moment. So in aligning our dreams, sometimes we might get overwhelmed with like, oh, I have to figure out my goals and I have to like, figure out this stuff in order to have a good year. Simplify. Instead, let your environment inspire you and nourish you. And from there, let the visions come. From there, let the clarity come. Let those resources, those 10 cups, the rainbows, the people, the dancing, the land, the sky, let that help you draw down into your body, into your knowing, your dreams, goals, anchors for 2024 or for this aligning dream season. Either one, it's applicable. For breaking cycles, key channel of change. If you're in the breaking cycles key channel of change, you've got the Page of Pentacles for January. And this is really about taking your sacred work in the world more seriously and trusting yourself that you actually know more than you think that you know. You've traversed many things and you've been working on your craft for some time, whether that's your parenting, whether that's your art, whether that's your job, whether that's how you speak to yourself, the intergenerational curses that you are breaking, whatever it is, whatever you are called to, take it more seriously and hold it more sacredly this month as you align your dreams. And break any cycles you have around that it's not real or it's not good enough or it's not the right, thing. Is it even my thing? Any doubts, any negative self-talk, this is about really clearing that. That's the breaking cycles aspect. In the becoming embodied key channel of change, we have the Four of Wands, which is about fortifying through celebration. This can be celebration with our parts. This can be celebration with our unseen beings, our well ancestors, our guardians, our guides. This can be celebration with the land, celebration with other people. Whatever it is, in coming into our bodies, the way in, that's what we're working on. That's the key channel change we're in. We're being asked to do so in a celebratory way. In the freeing expression key channel of change, we have Knight of Pentacles. And allowing our creativity, sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves. We try to make things happen when really what we need to do is wait to be moved. Wait for the impulse to move. An authentic movement, this is literally closing your eyes and waiting for your body to move you, not your brain being like, oh, I'm going to make a cool dance move right now. It's not that. It is about being moved emotionally, to put something on the page, being moved to express something to someone that's on your heart. Knight of Pentacles, freeing expression, key channel of change is about allowing yourself to be moved, waiting for the impulse to move, not forcing it, not pushing it. And finally, the tending spirit key channel of change. This is one of the biggest, spiritual lessons that we'll learn in our life, is that you can't take it with you. That we work so hard for these 10 wands. We accumulate, whether that's skills, knowledge, relationships, wealth, whatever it is. But ultimately, you can't take it with you. And so lay it down and maybe even redistribute it. So the tending spirit key channel of change, the lesson of it is to put down the wands that you have been carrying and accumulating, that it's just too much now, and seeing maybe if there's someone else that could use it, or just laying them down and giving them back to the land. So those are our 5 cards for our Full and Plenty Joy Life Spiral for January. Again, we have Aligning Dreams, the 10 of Cups. We have Breaking Cycles, the Page of Pentacles. We have the Four of Wands, Becoming Embodied. We have the Knight of Pentacles for freeing expression. And we have the 10 of Wands for tending spirit. All bringing it together with our final spell card for January is this is the fire card. So allow this spell to come over you and to ground you through this Aligning Dreams season. Very much a hearth card in this winter time. Your internal flame as well. I am courageous in the accountability of my own transformations. I steward the boundaries of creation. I embrace the clarity that comes from making ritual of my life. In the passion of my being, I am cleansed. Fire brings healing and transformation. Honor your creativity. Is there a skill or talent that you'd like to explore? What fires are you feeding? What fires need to be tended? This is a time for ritual and the crafting of spells. Hallelujah, Aligning Dream Season, January 2024. Such a blessing to be with you all. Again, if you don't know what key channel of change you are, you can take the quiz to find out. And if you're interested in either learning how to use tarot cards for your soul card and your year card, I have a blog and a quiz about that. And I also offer Full and Plenty Joy spiral readings for individuals. So you can book that starting January 17th at fullandplentyjoy.com. Sending lots of love. Strength card year. See you next month. Bye.